this video, we're going to go through the different attachments and platforms available for the range of shakers and shake incubators that we sell. First up, let's look at the shakers. So starting with the bean shakers. If you scroll onto our website, we have a very handy platform configuration that gives you most of the information. And for this series, you got an option of, as you can see, Erlenmeyer flasks, sticky pads, tube racks, and universal attachments or roller bar attachments. You can also have a spring wire rack that's not shown in the picture. This looks something like that. And a rubber mat, which looks something like that. So that's all compatible with these models. If you scroll further down, it'll also tell you the total number of flasks for each size. So, for example, if you look at the 100 ml flask clamps, this is Erlenmeyer flask. The BS1 or the BS15 can take 9 of these, which means that basically it's going to be a configuration with the universal platform and 9 of these flasks here. The same thing with the tube racks. These are generally for test tubes. This is the diameter and the length of the tube. Basically, anything that can fit into this diameter, you could use blood tubes or whatever. We also have the option to make this locally. If you can't find something that would suit your customer, we can make this locally. We just need the size of the tubes beforehand. And this is also compatible with Sticky Mat. It'll tell you how many pieces of 140 by 140 is compatible with each model. The good thing about this model, this range, it comes with a free starter pack, and the free starter pack, you can choose between the spring wire rack or a universal tray with 250 ml flask clamps. You can also choose between the rod type or universal platform, which is this guy over here, and the rubber mat platform, which looks like that. So all of this can be included with the standard delivery. So the price of that SKU would include a starter kit, which is pretty awesome, and it makes it very affordable. It makes it a very affordable shaker. So with the Wiggins, you have to configure them separately. However, we do have a model that's a package that includes a multi-purpose tray, and I think another one that includes the wire mesh. No, it's just a multi-purpose tray. But generally, you want to first coat on the shaker and then add the platform. And the platform configuration here is, again, this one also, you can take a sticky mat, the Erlenmeyer flask or separatory funnel clamps, multi-purpose spring rack, adjustable bar, roller bar, rubber mat attachments, and microplate holder. I correct myself. I stand to be corrected again. It does include, Wiggins calls the wire mesh here or the wire spring rack a multi-purpose tray. So yes, it was correct. So WS50D package 1 is this assembly right over here. Remember, these shakers are dual action back and forth. Then for the larger one, our configurations are as follows. Sticky mats tells you the different diameter or how many pieces needed per tray. And we also sell the tray alone without the sticky pieces, or the stay including the sticky pieces, sticky mats. And again, the different funnels and the multi-purpose spring rack, adjustable bar or the roller bar attachment, and the rubber bar attachment, and the microplate roller, which is sizes of the capacity for each shaker is listed here. It's pretty easy to look at. The orbital shaker, the dual orbital shaker. Now, this basically is generally for flask clamps, for 250 ml to 2 liter flask clamps. And these are the quantities for single shelves and double shelves. We have 2 different sizes of this. Please note that roller bars, spring wire racks, and any other platforms are not compatible. This is basically only compatible with tube clamps and flask clamps. I think we could also put 5 liter flask clamps, even though we don't have it listed on this website. So please talk to me if you want to put a 5 liter flask on this. It comes with a free set of clamps, so you got to just choose your size. The previous shakers we discussed, the previous bean shakers, only comes with a free 250 ml set. But in this model, you can choose different sizes. And then we have our CO2 shaker, remote shaker. Now, this basically, I guess, either sticky mat configuration like this, or Erlenmeyer flask. That's what you usually want to use it with. And you, we don't really have a platform configuration for this. It's mainly, most customers mainly buy it for the sticky mat. But if we really want, we can accommodate some Erlenmeyer flask as well. If you really do need the flask capacity, you can please speak to me about this one. Moving on to our shaking incubators, again, the economic being option, we have three different sizes, and we have spring wire rack options, universal attachment options, rubber mat options, and flask options, and tube rack options, and sticky pad options again with this. And you could choose a free set, a platform. I think all options are available except for the cell culture spring racks and tube racks that need to be ordered separately. At the time of making this video, I really do not know the difference between a spring wire rack and a cell culture spring rack. I have asked and I've not gotten a definition that suits me. No, have we ever had a request for a cell culture spring rack? I suppose it looks just the spring wire rack, but probably for Erlenmeyer flask. But if you do get an inquiry from your customer or something like this, talk to me and we'll figure it out. I just want to go over all the Geotech. This is both for the open air or the ambient orbital shakers and the shaking incubators. We have the universal platforms here that can take on the flask clamps, the funnel clamps, the test tube racks, and microblade holders, and the lab sticker. They call it lab sticker, sticky stuff or sticky mat. It's all the same. And then you get your different, the spring wire rack or the dedicated platform basically is a universal platform that comes with the flask clamp. So if you order a 250 ml dedicated platform, you're getting a tray, universal platform, and a full set of 250 ml clamps. We also have the rubber mat option and the universal attachment options here. This is pretty straightforward now. We cover this in quite a few videos in the series in this module already. I just want to show you what this looks like inside. So this is the what we call the economic vertical shaking incubator, and it has a dual platform. The platform configuration is as follows. Please note these numbers here are for only the bottom tier. The top tier is generally a spring wire mesh or spring wire rack. I've been told that we can configure it with a sticky pad, so we can put a plate and sticky pad on the top, but this is going to be ordered separately. But generally, it looks something like this. It has Erlenmeyer flask at the bottom and a top tier, and then a wire mesh, or you can configure this differently. If you wanted to, we could possibly put a sticky mat here. Please note that the top shelf moves along with the bottom shelf, so it's not a static shelf like most incubators that sort of look like this. Even the Geotech has a static shelf, so a non-movable shelf on the top for some like petri dishes that do not need to be shaken, and then a moving platform at the bottom.